Okay, I hit record, so don't say anything bad about each other.
Or you.
We won't, thanks for the heads up.
It's all peaches and cream.
It's 9:01 now, so we will call the meeting to order. Roll call, Camilla?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Nancy? Here. Joey?
Here.
Me? Okay, presentation review of advertising promotions for KRDO. And let's start with, who would like to start with their remarks?
I'll start. I think we did get a good response from the banner headlines that they ran. However, I think we need to revisit how we donate or give away our hours to entities that also have purchased from KRDO. The doubling up, I think we need to be very cautious of. So my suggestion might be that we look at, or the board looks at, when an applicant comes forward, that they have KRDO on their advertising list, that we do due diligence to find out if they're paying and we're paying. But I think overall, we did get good reaction from it, up north, just from what I could see.
And I would like to add to that, I agree with Nancy on that, but I also would like us to talk to KRDO, because when we thought we could give ads to different organizations, we couldn't, remember? So that's what we had discussed that in a meeting, that we need to talk to her to say, because when we gave these ads away, we couldn't because something was already in there. Right, Marty?
Well, we did give some away.
We did give some
Yes,
away,
we
but
did.
then there was some that we couldn't do because it was,
Because they already had ads running, so she didn't feel.
that we
like
could switch them,
should-
right,
should
and I
switch
think
them.
we just checked with that a little bit better.
Right.
But we did get the good reviews.
So I think on our end, like Nancy said, we need to check to see who's already doing advertising. and stuff.
Right, yes, yeah.
Camilla, the thing about it was that, if they declined us to be able to give ads away, it's because, the double dipping is good for their advertising budget, but not good for us or our applicant.
Joey?
Well, I think all of them are double dipping, triple dipping, really.
Mhm.
I mean, when I was going through it with them, I mean, I think our budget was like 18,000 last year, and 19,000, and Blues Fest had, all the ones that we did, all of them had it double.
Right,
So they were like double dipping on
Right.
everything that we were doing.
right.
So I think we should really go like half the budget on this. I think we should really cut this in half. I don't think that we're getting our bang for our buck on this. I think I'd rather see more money spent towards a Google, a search engine, something coming up on that, or even maps. If someone's searching, I think that's where we spend our money on advertising on that. Cause all we're getting on this is Colorado Springs. I think there's some people coming through Colorado Springs, but from what I've seen, we're spending $19,000 plus whatever Blues Fest spent, whatever Arcade spent, and what was the other one that we did? Was it
Mitchell.
Was it Mitchell?
Yeah, it was Mitchell, there was a lot of them that.
There was a lot of them.
There was a lot of them. I mean, we could go back, there was more than that had it, and they did it.
I mean, cause I honestly think she probably did about $100,000 worth of advertising throughout the day. And I don't think that we got $100,000 worth of people coming in here. I don't think we did.
Tom?
Okay, like I said, I think we got, if we got people coming from up north down here, it's working.
Mhm.
That's the way I see it. What I see is, there's other people that are coming up to us now with, advertising packages. And I think we need to look at all of them, New Legends, the Chronicle, and maybe just pick a certain amount from each one, so our dollars are spent in all of them, and not just all our money in one bucket.
The other way I think we could handle it is for KRDO to tell us who they already have advertising contracts with first, and then we go from there.
Yeah,
Yes.
disclose that.
Right.
So those things, Marty, the double dipping of KRDO with other organizations, and we wanna be able to give them from our packet of advertising, and not KRDO collecting money from them and also us. and all of the other ones that could possibly come into us for advertising with them, the Chronicle News, New Legends, and whoever else could be out there, and we pick from all of them.
Yeah, I agree with all of you. A couple extra things is, the one thing that I did like that, was part of the KRDO program is us to be mentioned more on the Weather Channel. I think that was really great. I was really disappointed in their docket that they did not have Visit Trinidad, that they referred to us as discovertrinidad.org, which means that's old, that's a couple years old, for them not to have known that. And then the current one, the campaign and investment summary, shows $21,000 for 13 weeks. If we were to follow a program like that, that means we would spend like $85,000 just with them next year. So I agree with everybody, and how do you recommend we move forward with what we said and all the entities that they're doing advertising with?
Connie, not today.
I mean,
Connie is asked for, a face-to-face with the board, in January, when we do our regular meeting. And that will be actually when you vote for all of this advertising that you're discussing today. Since this is just a work session, we will have a regular agenda to vote on each one of those in January.
Okay, so, go ahead, no.
Can we also invite those other entities
Yes.
as to a package of what they would have?
Yes, so that January meeting will have your advertisers, presenting so that you can make a final decision.
Okay, sounds good. True West Magazine. True West Magazine.
Last year you did 3, ads, different periods. So you had an April ad, full page. You had a June ad that was the 3rd page, and you had a full page in September. And those should be in your packets, what they look like. So we did A.R. Mitchell in September. We did the History Museum was the 3rd page, that was the one that we redid with the courtyard. And then the first one, gosh, I don't remember what that one looked like.
is it that one?
Marty,
this-
can we?
Is that
River?
True West?
The river, yes.
Yes, that was the first one that we did.
Uh-huh.
And we went with that one because I didn't have anybody designing ads at the time, so I pulled that up.
And Marty, can we note any of the titles that we've won in the city through the True West guidelines, present or past?
Okay. And in subsequent ads, is that what you're talking about?
In subsequent, and for the board to know, because that's an
Okay.
important piece of advertising with True West Magazine. So True West Magazine is also gives the awards out for the West for all cities and other things, and Trinidad has numerous times won awards that we could use and should use as marketing materials in the future.
I agree. I think that, they have been coming to Trinidad.
And so, that is there, Camilla, what do you think about the True West ads?
Oh, I agree with you guys. I'm having a hard time pulling them up right now, but I caught
Joey,
one slowly
do you
right
have
now.
any input on the True
I
West
have an
ads?
extra one.
It's, what are they, 7,000?
For all 3 of them for a year.
I mean, I think they're working,
No, that's
as
not
far as
it.
what I
I
said,
got that one.
I think the ad that we just did, let's see. This one, I think that was a great ad that we changed.
Yeah.
I think it looked really good. This one's okay, but does it really do anything for Trinidad? You know, I like it, but I think we could have done a little bit more, you know, especially if we're doing outdoors. You know, like,
The good thing about this one, I don't know if you've seen it, it has all, not all, but
it has
Roy
that,
Mitchell,
yeah.
and then it's got the back of house, and then the river.
That's the
which-
3rd page, that
right,
small one?
Yeah, and
I also
which I
listed
like
events
that
in that
one.
one.
Which I like that one.
You got it.
The one thing
Oh,
about the
okay.
True West
Yeah,
magazine,
that's what I was
I think we
trying
need to find something
you.
in this area that is True
It's
West.
not coming up.
You know, whether it be, a ranch or something at, Monument Lake. You know, something that's part of the
Oh, I see what
True
you're
West.
saying, yeah.
You know, and kind of go with what the magazine is, True West, like the back of house and maybe, something of the blooms you know, or the, like, a picture of the back of house.
That's why I picked this Air Mitchell at the
Right,
time,
and,
because I
and
figured
then,
that
and
was.
then like the back of house with maybe tobacco or something, because he went on to be a senator, and it's kinda like the thing of the true west, and he was a sheep herder, and like the Blooms were cattle people. Something tie-in with the magazine itself.
Yep, I like that. Anybody else have anything to add to that? No?
And one other thing is, I, like, these ads that we're using now, we not use them anymore in any of the magazines, that we keep on finding new ones.
Yeah, good
That
point,
way,
Tom.
that way we're just keep on showing different parts of this area. Okay.
Okay. USA Today?
USA Today, we have not used.
We used them when Jonathan was here.
When Jonathan, I mean, we didn't last year,
Yeah.
so we used him when Jonathan was there, and they have several magazines. They have the Hunt and Fish, they have the Escape, they have the Texas and southern Colorado, or southeastern Colorado. They have lots of different ads. I mean, lots of different magazines. And the reason I printed so much for Hunt and Fish is because that was what was mentioned the last time, is if we ever went with USA Today, that the Hunt and Fish magazine would probably be the best one. I believe Nancy cited the hunters that come from the Texas area and around that region, and
Yeah, the NRA
and right,
Vermejo, yeah.
right.
Joey, would you like to start your opinion on the USA ads?
So here's a balance I think that we gotta figure out is, if whatever ad we do summer or winter, we're trying to bring tourists to town. What are they gonna do? That's the biggest thing, like what, I think if we're gonna go for our bang for our buck, are we marketing for summer or winter? If we're marketing for summer months, what are they gonna do in the summer? I know we have our festivals and all that stuff, so if we're gonna create an ad, I think we gotta create it where we are going to festivals. If we're going in winter, what are they gonna be doing here in the winter? We don't have a ski resort open, it's more of a stopping place to spend the night and get gas and shop, you know, during that.
So your opinion would be to figure out what we're going for and go for one magazine?
Well, I
or
think,
just figure
I think
out-
we should go for a lot of different magazines, but instead of spending, you know, 7,500 to a full page ads to 15,000,
Yeah.
I think we go a little bit smaller and get more recognition, you know, throughout a bunch of different magazines. I think we spend $2,000 and get the 8-page ads. I think it's doing about the same thing,
So
you know,
am
really,
I
than a full
hearing-
page.
Am I hearing that you're saying that we should find out what we're marketing before we
Yeah.
decide to place the ad
I think so, I think.
for the city?
Well, I think what we should be doing is we should be talking to the city and what's the vision of the town? Like, does anybody know what the vision of where Trinidad's going? Like, cause I'd like to really see what's their plan for 2020? Are they planning to do biking? Are they planning to really start marketing Fisher's Peak? Are they trying to do the river?
Well,
Like,
that's
what
our
is the
job.
plan?
Yeah.
That's our job.
But if we don't know what the vision is from the
City,
city, what they're putting in, then we can't
we
market it.
We create the vision.
Yeah, but you
City-
can't create something that's not there.
Yes, you can, because I just sent an email to all of you last week. The video that was taken in Raton, Raton's new outdoor rec
I
thing.
saw that.
Okay, did you look at the numbers? The federal law, or this new federal law that was passed in 2017 mandates that Wally, you were there, that the economic analysts have discovered that outdoor rec is a $2.2 billion industry for rural areas.
And that's just in New Mexico.
That is correct.
So, and
That
Colorado
is
would be
why we
higher.
advertise in biking magazines, mountain magazines, hunting, yes, fishing, yes, but this board should be creating that image.
And I totally
That's
agree
what
with
we
that.
do, that's what we tell people. We talk to people and they say, well, what do you do here?
I understand what you're talking about, but what I think Joey is trying to, and I'm saying that too, so we go out and spend a $15,000 ad, and I'm just guessing on the money here right now, to to town to come bicycle, the city of Trinidad.
It's not
Fisher-
bicycle, Camilla.
Bicycle, hiking. City of Trinidad hasn't gotten that far with Fisher's Peak. If they come and see that ad, they come to town and say, where are we? Well, you can't go up
It's
there
not,
yet.
you're not biking in Fisher Peak. How many miles of roads do we have, Wally?
A lot.
I agree with you a
That's
lot,
what
but if
people
you
come
act,
here for.
I agree that, I
Yes.
agree that, but if it's not ready with
1600.
the city and the county working together, what do we tell them when the
Camilla.
city doesn't have it?
Camilla, Explore Los Animas Dirt is about mountain biking. It's about dirt biking,
I
and not
understand.
Fisher Peak.
I understand,
I
but
don't
all
think
it's
that-
all
I
in a
think
package.
I think we can all agree that the vision of ours, and please speak up, the vision of ours along with the city is outdoor recreation.
I agree with you,
If it's
yes.
hunting, if it's biking, if it's, golf, if it's
Fishing,
going up to
camping.
Monument Lake,
Right.
is that we should be known as the entrance place in the southern part of the
That's
state
exactly
for
right.
outdoor recreation.
But that's what I'm saying, is I think we gotta figure out what our niche is and market our niche.
Okay.
We don't have like you can't just say, our niche is all outdoors. Well,
Why not?
but what is there like for outdoors here? Like I'm saying, besides, there is biking, there is hunting, there is fishing.
There's
But when they
lakes.
come here, where are they actually, like, where's the map saying, okay, if you
That's
come to
exactly
Trinidad,
right,
here's all the places where you can go hunting, you can talk to all these outfitters, here's where you can go. Here's a place where you can go fishing, here's all the fishing
Right,
stores.
right.
Here's all the bicycle shops. We don't have that.
We
So
don't have a map.
if you send somebody to town, it's gonna be basically a blind vacation, cause there's no map or nothing to do.
Right.
Wally,
Exactly.
as an economic development, person here in the city, how do we work with economic development to start getting maybe some listings, something that Joey's referring to, or stuff together, so that we can use those for marketing materials?
Jeff Peterson and I right now are working on a website that connects all of those, that is like a directory for basically all those different types of businesses.
Will that website be attached to the city and our website, or will it be an
Yeah.
additional website? Okay.
Remember, Jeff Peterson runs the community association
Center
out of
for Innovation.
Raton that is Trinidad and Raton. But they are far ahead of us in what they're directing for outdoor recreation.
Well, it's funny because if you talk to them over there, they think we're 20
We're
years ahead
way
of
ahead of
them.
us, yeah. Yeah, it's just a complete opposite.
but-
Yeah, I've talked to a couple people, and they say, we're trying to catch up with Trinidad.
But it's good.
Yeah, it is
Competition
good.
is
It's working
hopefully
together.
leading both of us
Yeah.
to go that direction. I just wanted to, I don't know if you all have heard kind of the update on what's going on with Fisher's Peak. I met with Crystal Dryling last week, and they are, basically what's happening right now is they're hiring the firm that's going to do the development of the whole mountain. But in the meantime, right now, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, they are the ones that are implementing all of phase one, and they are actively up there surveying and working on getting that together with an opening date of January of 2021. And with that, they're planning on having 13 miles of trails, a visitor center, and a parking lot. So at that point, we will have a lot more trails than we do have right now. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be really important to really promote that Fisher's Peak will be available at that point, and that will be a place where people can go for.
But would that
bikes.
be a fourth quarter advertising budget for us that we should do? I don't think it should be a first, second, or third. If it's 2021 January,
Mhm.
and I know things take a little longer than normal. I mean, me personally wouldn't spend the money, advertising Fisher's Peak January 1st of this year.
Yeah.
I would
I
go
agree.
fourth quarter.
I agree.
Just see
But-
where they're at, because then our dollars are spent
Right.
wisely.
But we can advertise what we have.
Yes.
What we existing and currently have, and we need a map, because Google doesn't work in the county, in the mountains.
But two things that we actually have that we can market is Monument Lake and the golf course. We have those two
Right.
entities that we.
Camping.
So,
Camping.
so what I'm
Trinidad
hearing, so that we
Dam.
don't keep going on with this meeting, what I'm hearing is that before we place any ads in USA Today or in any periodical, we should see the assets that we currently have and market only those assets for outdoor recreation. What do you think, Tom?
Well, I see Joey's point as to where he wants to know where the city's going. He basically saying, where's the city putting their money?
Yeah.
Okay, Wally answered one of those questions right now. What the state is getting ready for 2021. Number two, the Monument Lake, the golf course, Trinidad State Lake, these are the things that and the biking, and the trails that there are for biking. This is, I think, what Joey is asking is, what is the city doing to this? And we get behind the city, and these are the areas that we advertise in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what you're asking, Joey, is that. And I see that as far as USA Today, for the amount of money, I don't wanna go there this year again. I'd rather take that money and use it somewhere else, with True West and the other magazines that we have. And this other money, we keep it from USA Today. I do think that we are advertising in enough magazines right now, and I think that's where I would like to see it stay, that's my opinion.
Okay.
So that's what I have to say.
So that's Tom's opinion, and Joey, do you wanna put off advertising to the third quarter or later on in the year?
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, really, my advertising budget, you guys all know me, is I'm more digital. I think you get more bang for the buck off your cell phone. I think if we could do anything off our cell phone marketing, that's where we should be going. I think that magazines are sitting in someone's business or hotel room and they scan through them, look at them, and then I don't think they're booking a vacation through a magazine.
Isn't
But I think they are
RPM,
doing through here.
isn't that part of RPM's study is telling us who's coming here? Okay,
Yeah.
so that may be a good guiding
Yeah.
point as well. But, I'm sorry,
No, you go
I
ahead.
thought you were done.
RPM or Buxton?
Buxton, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one thing that I didn't bring, and I should have brought it for this meeting, was the thing that Andrew drew up for us as to a guideline for us to follow.
Craft.
And it's, right, the part of the Craft 101. And I think it is part of following a little bit of magazine advertising, a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
So we're covering everything, and I think that's where we need to stay,
Mhm.
is kind of the road that we're on now, and I think we're doing good.
Yeah.
The KER deal, we've gotten some good things off it. Camilla has a little shop in town, she's getting a lot of people from up north coming down here. And I think where we should focus on is Texas, Amarillo, that's a pretty good sized town, and we're close to them, and I think that's where we should be, advertising.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So USA Today, then we would put that aside till the fall, and maybe in the fall do hunting or something, and just put this aside till
Well, you
then.
wanna stay a quarter
season
ahead.
ahead.
So in
So
the
you
summer.
would do
we'll-
summer advertising for hunting in the fall. You wanna stay a quarter ahead. Wally, when will the website for the, that you're working with Jeff on be live?
I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
I would
hopefully
really
early
love to
next
see
year.
that integrated in the tourism website, and to have another tab within tourism on what to do versus a separate
Okay.
landing page.
And thanks for updating us
Yeah.
on Fisher's Peak.
Yeah, no worries. I
Appreciate
just,
that. And if you could keep us updated on anything that's going on.
yeah,
Well, there is
So-
that budget, meeting,
They sent me a
Saturday?
but I haven't
Friday?
heard it.
Saturday?
yeah, this
Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday at 4
4
p.m.
o'clock.
I mean, I really think that we shouldn't even market in nothing until we get our stuff back from Buxton and really decide
Exactly.
where our hits
Yeah,
are.
that's
I
great.
think we're blind advertising
Right.
without
That's-
it.
you're-
That's
you're
what
I
right.
mean, we just paid all this money, and if we don't have the information, we're basically just
You're-
throwing money.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Right.
And since this is just a work session, we're going out, we're just getting our views out about the different magazines, so that's great. New Legends magazine, who would like to speak first on your thoughts on that?
I have a question, are they even in production right now?
I don't know.
I think they're doing the weeklies.
My question is that they're asking for a huge amount from us. Are they going to anybody else?
They're not just focusing on print magazine though, Steve's presentation was video productions and, print magazine and ambassador programs and videos and billboards and all sorts of stuff, so I'm not sure if you wanted to identify any one of those, or if he's looking for an entire package that he's trying to sell.
Well, according to this, it's a whole entire package he's trying to
Right.
sell of $218,000, right?
Yeah.
And of $17,000 a month from us.
Well, that's what he's asking for.
That's what he's asking for, that's right.
I'm always curious about this one is he always has potential funding sources. He never tells us who his does he have funding in place, or is it just
Well,
everything's
he's got a
potential?
list in the back here that I
Right.
kind of grazed over and so.
Well, they're all, it says potential funding sources in gold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and the only thing I do like this magazine, I actually read this thing all the time, cause it does have a lot of information in it. I mean, he does keep up to date with quite a bit of stuff that's happening on Trinidad and surrounding areas.
So if it was your decision to look at this contract and what you think that is usable for us and what is not, I don't wanna step on the toes of us starting to go down the path of also working with the Chronicle and,
Well, I think it goes, again, though, I think you use him as needed, you know, as far as, if you have certain events, I think his production's a little bit different than the Chronicle News. So if you're doing Artocade, Blues Fest, the parade, 4th of July, I think those are good things for here. Cause I think a lot of people read this magazine, or this
They do.
newsletter, or
Yeah, I
whatever it is,
agree.
yeah.
What I would like, going back to Buxton, let's let them be our guiding
Mhm.
point.
okay.
And then, I think that might apply to all of these,
Yeah, I think so
proposals.
too.
But, if he wants to come back after we get the Buxton report, to come back and tell us if he has secured potential funding, other potential funding.
Yeah.
What is the status of his, funding?
So we'll put this aside too until we get those
Well,
reports done.
my-
Yeah, sorry, Tom.
My take on this is, we treat it like KRDO. We take what's gonna work for us. To me, I'm not gonna look at the bottom line, what the guy wants per month, per year. I'm gonna look at what's gonna be best for us. Joey says the New Legends magazine, there may be something else in here that's good for us, but I think we just have to pick from all of these to get a variety of everybody.
After Buxton?
Well, after Buxton, and we need to print up that, thing that Andrew drew up for us.
Mhm.
And kind of work with those two, roadmaps.
Mhm.
And then we pick from all of these entities that we advertise from
Mhm.
and where we go.
Mhm.
But I think that we need to stay on the thing of, a little bit from everybody
Mhm.
and not all of our money in one
Right.
place.
Which he did do a great roadmap, you're right. Okay, Adventure Outdoors. Input, Camilla, would you like to give your input first?
Well, it goes back to our advertising. But I like Venture Outdoors, so.
These magazines like Adventure Outdoors and all of them, one thing I haven't seen continuously all the way through these is circulation numbers and stuff. I would like to know that and like where their highlight is. Adventure Outdoors huge in southern Indiana, or is it huge in Colorado? Is this a Colorado-based magazine? It doesn't look like it since it has Michigan and other ones in there, so just kinda like, I don't know where their circulation is.
I don't either, but I know that they also have a digital issue that is a sister production to any print that you do.
Uh-huh.
So when you do a print ad, it's also in digital media, so they're on their websites, on their Facebook, and so you're getting multiple sources of marketing, multiple platforms, I should say. So there's, it is national.
Is there any way that from any of these, like our Facebook page or any of the things that we get feedback back?
Analytics?
Right, where they heard it from, so maybe somebody would say they seen an ad in True West, or this way they would kind of give us an idea of where they got the information about Trinidad from. And that would be a good indicator for us as to, what you think?
Is there any way with our current website and the girl that's maintaining it, is there anywhere on there that you can have, where did you?
Yes, so she just upgraded our SEO, and with that, the analytics that goes with it. So we'll have an analytics report for you on our website in January.
In January.
And
And that'll be for the whole year of two thousand
That'll
nineteen?
be for all of 2019.
And when are we supposed to get our feedback back from, Buxton? January?
I understood the end of December.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe December.
But I haven't communicated with them in the last couple of weeks. I was gone a whole week, and this week I've been doing this, so
Yeah.
I will get in touch with them and see where that stands.
And RPM, when do we get theirs back?
We just got a report from RPM.
Okay.
So as soon as the next, I guess, action items that they had on their list are taken care of, they will do another report.
So will we get a copy of that report?
Oh, absolutely, immediately.
Okay. Go Colorado. So Go Colorado is the one that it works with,
Those are the ones that generate reader leads for us.
Uh-huh.
So this is the one that you suggest that we do go with?
Go Colorado?
Right.
Go Colorado is one that we have used for years.
yeah.
So that's, and it's a state magazine.
It's actually a website.
It's a website.
It's not a magazine at all.
This is where we get those flyers that we mail out to people, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
we get reader leads from
We
Go
get-
Colorado,
yes.
yes.
Who request
Okay.
information.
And I update the website, that website on a regular basis, so he'll call me every quarter or so and say, do you have any updates that you wanna change anything to, and so, he makes those changes, and Chris is really good.
Yeah.
And do you have, can you refresh our memory on what the program costs for Go Colorado?
Go Colorado,
And can you add photographs to this too, Marty?
yes. Go Colorado, we pay $1,125 a year for.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
anybody got any other input they would like to add to the?
I would vote for that one.
Okay.
I don't go for
So,
that one.
Si, do you remember what Chris had sent you recently on this? There was something different that he was proposing in an email that he just recently sent to you. And
Did he send it to you too?
well,
I
he
thought
copied
too.
me on the original, but I didn't have anything following up, so I didn't know if you would reply just to him
No,
or.
I would never do that.
Okay,
But I do remember
Remember
seeing
seeing
something that
maybe
he's
it's
starting
on-
something
yeah.
different.
right, he was
And he's
doing something
gonna add
different.
something to us to bring more information to us.
Right,
Right, yeah.
Well, at the state tourism meeting, I asked him if he could send us, followers by zip code.
Well,
He
what
said
I
he
can
could.
get those.
Yeah, she,
Those come to me inside both.
I know, so.
it was something different. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah.
I do remember him saying.
I'll look at my email,
Yeah.
if we were all tagged in it, or.
Yeah, we were
us,
tagged
yeah.
in that one.
I'll look at it. I know they
So
were doing
just-
something new on their, I don't know if it was, yeah, I don't remember what he said, if it was analytics or what it was.
So just last month, actually, Go Colorado generated more leads than the official state vacation guide, with 111 reader leads for November. And they're in the hundreds every month.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the
Yeah.
summertime, we were up to way, like, crazy. Okay, Colorado Life Magazine next.
Oh, here it is, sorry. So, oh no, it's CTO, never mind. Go ahead, sorry.
Colorado Life Magazine.
Last year we did a full page ad in Colorado Life, and it was $1,440. And that one, I believe, is the one that had the blue box in the middle, with the eat, drink, bike, hike all the way around it. That's the right one?
That was a good.
Yeah, that's a good thing, yeah. Tom, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I just think it's a good way to go. Anytime you want to advertise in Colorado, Colorado Life.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
I like the demographics. They show well, for their entertainment, they break it down as to what they're actually looking for. Their median income is over 65,000. So it's a type of demographic that would have,
We would know.
yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay, Camilla, did you wanna add anything to that?
No, I like that magazine very much. With that.
West of 105, marketing.
West of 105 is new. They've always been digital and they've just decided to go print as well. So their print magazine they put in visitor centers around the state, chambers of commerce, libraries. I like their digital program more than anything, and that's more what he's trying to promote, but he did introduce the print version as well.
What
I don't know anything about them.
What do you see in what you see, Marty? That you like? You said you liked.
Digital.
Because it's digital, and so many people are going to digital advertising now. And it's a separate demographic of Colorado.
So you say we would stay digital with them and not go their magazine way what they're going? Yeah, I agree with that. See, that's one of those other things that instead of going with the magazine, we go with the digital on this one.
Yeah, I don't see any prices right off. Are there prices?
No, he didn't give us
Okay,
any
so
prices on anything.
Because they're new for me, a price determining factor would also be the price.
So I would recommend going online and checking out West of 105 for your, I just couldn't print anything on the digital.
I mean, looks good.
It is, it's got,
Yeah,
it hits a good demographic of people.
It has like hiking, it has all kinds of things you can click on, so, yeah, I think we're gonna go digital.
Thanks for bringing that up.
One thing.
So did you type it,
Yeah, just west of 105 is what I
West of
typed.
105.
Yeah.
But I guess my next stage is I would type in things to do in southern Colorado and see if
See
West
if
of
it comes
105
up.
comes up, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't, then people still are going, if they know about it, just say they're going to see.
Well,
Or
and I
just
think
be a whole
on
different-
this marketing, I mean, really, I think we should still do Google. I mean, like, I was just showing time on our ads, you know, I mean, not even our ads, but our stuff through My Business and Google. I mean, we're hitting 100,000 every month, you know, on
Google's
bricks. And we're not doing no advertising in the city of Trinidad or none of that through there. And you can check it. I think the analytics are so easy if you know Google. You know, and what it does is once you hit maps, you know, on your phone, if you click maps and then you type in Trinidad, Colorado, that's what Google is. That's exactly where it's getting it from. So I think if we do paid advertising through there, that's where we're gonna get our bang for our buck. Even, I think,
So that's a good question, Joey. Is there a way when people type that in that we can bring up something more under the Google format? Like,
pull it up real quick just to
Like say Nighthole Golf Course or fishing,
Mhm.
camping.
You can.
Keep in mind, if we had a map on our website, front side, if it were a hard copy, and it were in a kiosk, or, as I understand, the city's looking at doing kiosks around town, is that correct? Or something?
I don't know. Yeah, that's not something that I have heard spoken
Or
of.
It
they're
was in
doing
the-
something around town.
It was in the city council minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so say we have a kiosk over here, we have a front side of the map of downtown. Restaurants, shops, galleries, histories. Backside, we have, then I'm gonna go back to biking, county roads, or Google links, or whatever, so that people can, see exactly where they're going. When they get here, and I agree with you, Joy, they say, what do we do? Well,
Yeah.
then if you have time as a person in a business, you can explain to him or her, you go here, you go there. The Trinidad Trails group worked tirelessly on the wormhole. No one knows where it is no one knows what it is, so you have to give them directions. You go down Nevada, you go past the cemetery and you turn.
They have a brochure.
Yeah.
But it's not available to everyone unless you know.
I have it printed at the Welcome
Is
Center.
it on our Facebook page?
But Marty, if they don't.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Actually, it's connected to Google Mapping. All of our outdoor recreation, if you look on our website,
So there's
every
no.
location is a live link to Google Maps.
Okay, so if there isn't any information for someone that maybe isn't googly, how do they know where to get that information?
They don't.
That's exactly my
They don't.
point.
That's where you, like,
That's exactly
I just
my
got
point.
back from Vegas and everything is digital, and I know the town of Trinidad's like so scared of digital signage, but I mean, everything is like basically a digital kiosk where you put it in the lot right here. You go, if they're walking through town, they hit the board and then they can find anything they want.
Exactly.
You know, and that's kinda where I think we gotta go, the town's gotta move forward eventually, we have to do it.
I don't see this as being a city issue. This is a tourism issue. The city is not in the business to promote tourism. That's this board's job. And it should move ahead with plans, whether it's kiosks, digital, hard copy. There are a lot of people that like to read newspapers because they want to feel it, touch it, and make notes on it. It's the same with Google. I think you have to accommodate both types of tourists that come here. And there are a lot of tourists that just stumble into Trinidad without knowing what even is here.
Marty, could you make sure that we find out whatever this update that the city's talking about with kiosks, the tourism board should know that? Tom?
Cool. Here's one of the biggest things I see, and it's under the tourism board now, is the Welcome Center. This is an open book. This building is an open book. This is everything you wanna find out about Trinidad is in that place. That's the place that this tourism board needs to advertise.
And that's why I send everybody to.
That's an open book. The map you want needs to be in that place right there. This is the building where we need to pick up people and to come to this building. We need that on our Facebook. I'd like him to go down there and do a tour of it, the inside of it. The magazines you have, the brochures you have.
But
And-
Tom,
and
not
that-
everybody stops at the Welcome Center, as the
We-
numbers indicate.
We need to push that building. We ourselves, that is under our roof now. That's what we need to push. We need to bring people into that Welcome Center. How many brochures do you have in that building?
Individual brochures, 392 different brochures.
So, what I'm
That's an open book.
what I'm hearing Tom say.
About the
everything.
state.
The state in our
Well, I
town.
understand that, Tom. I talked to Marty yesterday and asked her to bring numbers, which she's going to. We talked about the proximity of the Welcome Center as you exit, the circling around, the jigging out to get to the Welcome Center. But as people are approaching, they're Googling Trinidad, Colorado. So there's Google, Welcome Center, hard copy. I don't think that we ignore all three, we try to accommodate all three types of visitors.
Can I bring some to you?
Yeah.
How many people do you think go into McDonald's in a day off of that highway?
Thousands.
Do you think they find a hard time going around that circle
No, but
and going into
it's a
that?
different
The
motive.
thing of it is the Welcome Center is right across the street from that
But
place.
they don't go to the Welcome Center.
That's the place that we need to
Here,
advertise.
I do like Nancy's idea on a map with sites that people can go to, cause there's just, now we have so much online, but I really like what Tom is saying too. In all of our ads, we should have maybe a little picture of the Welcome Center and our site or something, so people get used to thinking you come to town and you go to the Welcome Center too.
True.
You know?
I think it should be adjacent to our logo.
Uh-huh.
There you go. I agree with you.
Yeah, in all of it, so people get used to going there.
I agree with you, Nancy.
And
That's,
but-
that should be
Yes,
incorporated
it
with
should.
that logo.
Yes,
Yeah.
it should. But I don't think we can distinctly say it's gonna be Google, it's gonna be hard copy. or it's gonna be a map. I think it needs to be everything.
And that's a tool, I think, the Welcome Center is one of our tools.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the tool
Yeah.
that we need to use.
That's something that we
And,
have really
and as a business owner downtown, I constantly send people to the Welcome Center because they're always asking about the Highway of the Legends. They're asking about me about Ludlow. They're asking me about million things. I don't have a place in my store for
Well, it's not
every
the links that you go
doggone
into maps.
brochure in
So the way
Trinidad.
you-
I don't.
so more
And I
people
send them
shop.
constantly
Most
down to the
people
Welcome
in
Center to
Colorado
pick
right
something
now.
up. I always
So,
send
so
people
wouldn't it
down
be
there.
nice
to have
so
a
we
map?
can move on?
No, because
Marty,
that's just too much. I
with
don't
this
have
so
it
we
in my
can move
place to have a
on.
map on everything.
On all of our
I don't have it.
advertisement from now on, we want something about the Welcome Center, I would say. And I would
I agree with that.
So you wouldn't have room for something this size?
For everything in Trinidad? No, I don't have room for the golf course,
No, what
the
I'm
Trinidad
saying,
Lake,
Camilla, what I'm saying is,
maps for the bicycling, everything. You want one map for everything.
yes, it's
It
possible.
wouldn't be possible, I think, it would be
Wally,
such time for it that
can
it
you
wouldn't.
lend
be
info on this with a city map that has the highlighted either, sites on the backside, or can you be part of this?
Yeah, and I think it would probably need to be more than one map if it is going to be the trail, like the county roads around us and the
Need
city
more than
itself.
one map, and I don't have that kind of room in my shop for more than one map.
Well,
But-
Maybe you don't have to
I can
get
tell you
I won't, I'll send them to
Marty?
the Welcome Center.
on the website,
Uh-huh.
every location that is
Go
in
back
the
to-
city or that's connected with the city, the
Solid
wormhole
research.
loops, the Trinidad Lake State Park, the golf course, the skate park, every one of those have a live link to Google Maps. So they're on a map on the website. Everyone is linked to Google Maps. So anybody that goes to our website that's looking for anything to do is directed to a map.
So we'll have,
Digital map.
if you could somehow get stylishly, Welcome Center information and our website address, that can be a standard postage stamp, no matter how big it is, on every ink, and give us ideas so we can use that as a standard.
And I really do agree that, yeah, it'd be good to push the city council to embrace this kiosk idea,
Mhm.
because, yeah, I do think that is the way that most people would find that information, or
I mean, even if
while
we-
in town now.
Even if the city has something in place where you can't do it, we have the Welcome Center, put a kiosk in the Welcome Center, where they could actually click on it and find something if you have people going in there, but I think we need something digital where people are, it's interactive,
So-
you know.
And if you were all to create that, I'm sure that the city would embrace taking that and placing it in other places around town too.
And that's a great point, but again, let's find out what the city's talking about, so if it's a kiosk area, we could maybe go in and get some stuff at the kiosk there and just be partners there, not be.
Yeah, that was the first time I heard about them talking about that.
Okay,
And
guys.
Yeah, and I wasn't at that meeting.
So
Yeah,
real
that was
quick,
fun.
on, if you guys go on your maps on your phone and type in just Trinidad, Colorado, there's no link to Trinidad, it just tells you about Trinidad, Colorado, that's the problem I think we're
Right.
having, it's not,
A
It
paid
don't tell you.
advertisement at the top that connects right to you all.
you need to connect to a website, so it tells all our information, Welcome Center, all the stuff where you can go to. And that's what we have is, in the pictures that are on there right now, if you link Trinidad, Colorado, it has the old trolley, it has all the old stuff in it still. So it hasn't been updated for at least 5 to 10 years. So we gotta get control of that if we're going to go a little bit digital.
And those are the things that we should be focusing on, is reconnecting. all
So,
those
that,
things.
it's a good point.
Getting up to date.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
up to date.
so when I do that, I don't actually come up with a website, and sometimes I have in the past when I go into other cities, but in that Wikipedia and our address, is the girl that's doing our website, can she look at that and see if anywhere on there, it could be linked www.visit Trinidad, Colorado, so when they do that, then.
Wally, do you have any direction or input for us based on the side of economic development and the comings and goings of Trinidad? What would you recommend?
And I do think that Joey's right that it'd be good to just do a Google ad to place you all at the very top whenever you do search Trinidad, Colorado. So that is the first link that people see. Because there aren't any Google ads when you type in Trinidad, Colorado, so it should be fairly cheap
I
for you all to be
punched
able
up
to do
Google
that.
and Trinidad came up right away on me.
Well, totally, and it will come up, but
It does.
like, for
As long as
example,
it adds.
Wikipedia comes up before
Yeah. So when
you
we
all.
search-
Not me, it came up right
First thing
away.
that came up was.
Hmm.
So you're on Google though.
And it comes,
Go on to your-
actually, it doesn't come up for me anywhere on the front page for the visit Trinidad,
Not on
Colorado.
the maps.
It popped up.
Let's go into
My,
maps.
the Fisher's Peak came up immediately for me.
What,
Well, I'm going to maps though, and I just
I'm
want to make sure
going
we're
to
all
maps.
going through the same
Yeah,
line.
you're
'cause
not
I was
going through,
Google.
you're not going through Google. Most people
Yeah.
that are traveling are hitting maps, and the reason why they hit maps is they're gonna hit maps, they're gonna hit restaurants, they're gonna hit gas stations to fill up. So if you're searching on your phone, you're looking at these items right here.
Right.
So if we don't click on there as far as updating our stuff in Trinidad, all they're gonna go get is gas. They're not gonna really figure out what the town is about.
See, and that's the thing what he's talking about.
And I
is-
hit
is
maps,
we need-
and I went through there, Colorado, and everything popped up for me.
Yeah, but you're on Google, you're not on.
No, I hit maps,
So if
Is
are you on
Google
that
your
map?
engine?
huh?
You're on that map?
I'm on my
icon?
map thing.
And what'd you hit?
I just hit Trinidad, Colorado, and all popped up over me. So it's
What
just
comes up on
different.
that website?
The History Museum,
Sorry.
the Fisher's Peak, photographs of different things.
Let me see, just so that we're all on the same.
Am I wrong in saying this?
No, no,
No,
no, no. I just wanna see how the difference, is it an iPhone or is it an Android?
Mine's an iPhone. I just hit maps and punch in Trinidad, Colorado.
are you in the Maps app or are you on,
The Maps apps.
Well, that's the difference.
yes.
But, so, I'm
So what
just
do I
seeing
have to
this
be on
come
that
up
you
with-
guys are not getting it, that I'm not getting it?
So this is just what we're doing, is we're
Right.
looking at, oops, sorry guys.
I'm talking about just Google searching it.
Yeah.
And mine Google came right up, Google.
That,
So I just think we just gotta
Where's
update
your
our stuff.
internet?
you know,
And for
and
me,
put an ad in there.
for me, when I just Google search Trinidad, Colorado,
I don't
you
want
all
directions.
aren't even on the front page.
I'm not doing the directory, that's my Google.
Wikipedia
Google.
comes up
That
first,
was
then
last
the
I was
city
on
of Trinidad
Google.
website.
That's what came
And so I do think there would be some benefit
I
for
think
you all
we do
doing.
need, I agree with Joe,
So-
we need
so-
to promote it up.
So
We do.
the girl that's taking care of our website, she needs to link to this, so it all links
She just needs
together.
to create a Google ad.
She needs to make a
Google
Google
Ads.
Ads
And
account.
so basically, our Google ad with Bricks is $80 a month. That's what we're getting. It's about $80. We're getting about 100,000
So
hits.
show me what you do, so we can see if we were gonna do that in the city, what are you doing?
So mine is through Google.
Uh-huh,
So it just tells you all the information on it, on what we do. So a lot of our marketing is online through Bricks. All our stuff's through online.
but, I mean,
So
we're
we
going
went
to
to
get into
restaurants
this.
on maps.
So we created a Google ad
Uh-huh.
through Google. So you got to go
And where's
through
your
it.
ad, that's what I want.
So
do you do my assistant, my business
we go direct. I actually directly go
to
through.
Google?
Yeah, like I was saying, there's nothing that comes up when you Google ad search Trinidad, Colorado. And so if you all were to buy an ad, it shouldn't be that expensive because you're not competing with other.
And do you know how to
People for
do
that
that, so
access?
that we can get on there, can you help with?
Yeah, and yeah, you have to create a Google Ads account. And
Okay.
And see, for, like Joey's paying $80 a month, I
Mhm.
mean, and we're paying $17,000 for a magazine, and we actually know what we're getting out of this Google ad.
yeah.
So that's where we need
No,
to,
I-
immediately, I think we need to link with that immediately.
I am under I believe that you will get more benefit from digital advertising than print advertising. That being said, I also think it's important to support the local magazine people because I do
Right,
think that's
cool.
something
And
that's
just
important
our
for people
money,
to come here.
our money needs to be everywhere.
Yeah.
We need to be all over.
Yeah. So you could do it. So with us, there's a company that's called Yext. What Yext does, it's $500 a month, but it does all the digital ads for you. So it'll do.
YEXT?
Yep. Right. So we should look that up, Marty. Maybe look that up and then do one, because then it's a one-hit stop. You know, so you hit one, it goes on. So if you post in Yext, it posts on Google, it posts on Microsoft, MSN, you know, TripAdvisor, all of them.
Yelp.
Yelp.
It does all
So
of it.
Joey,
That's what I did at Mount
do you think, well, and Tom inside, do you think, and this goes back to Buxton, do you think that we ought to hold off on the percentage of hard copies compared to, say, Yext or Google or
I
instead of,
I would not advertise no money until we get through,
Buxton.
to figure out what we got.
Till we get the RPM report and Buxton.
Cause I think we're just throwing money,
That's right.
just throwing money.
It's an
I-
old habit.
I do think there would be some benefit just to doing ads for your websites digitally in the meantime.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because that would just be anyone who
It's
Google
you,
searches
I mean-
you and they'll be able to find you all. And I do think you all have the most appealing website for people that are looking to learn about.
And then you look at the percentage as to what's looking at that.
Mhm.
So the percentage will sell for itself.
Yeah.
But it's a two-part system though, and that's what everyone, like, if you advertise, you gotta update.
Yeah.
So, if whatever we're advertising, we have to update constantly our pictures, our, what's going on each month. I mean,
Events.
it's constant. It can't be, we can't have the same picture from 2 months ago, 3 months ago still on our website. Those things should be changed really every single month, something should be happening.
Because something's happening every month.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we're in the Christmas season, in January, we need to find things.
Mhm.
And
February,
I
we need to
also,
find
I
things.
also think that if you push and you draw the visitors in, you've gotta have something, some kind of guide for them when they get here.
Mhm.
Something that, whether it's an app for where to go, what to do, where to do this and that, they wander around wondering what to do. They have their phones, they go into the Chronicle News, I see a lot of people going in there to get information, but we kind of abandon them when they get here.
Well, what I'd like to see on our page is drawn onto our page, and what we should have is, there's 300 houses on the market this month. Because what you're trying to do is we're trying to create tourists. Well, the way you create tourists is if they come in here to buy a house, they're spending money.
So,
I-
there's a
you know,
combination here with
there's
what
a
you're
lot
saying
of-
and what Wally said. So you said we should be doing more ads on our website?
I
Does that
am
mean-
just saying you should be paying Google to put your website at the very top
Okay.
of when people search
So
Trinidad, Colorado.
we do wanna do that, but I like your idea that besides our website, and I have not searched other websites recently to know, but how else are we selling Trinidad as soon as they get to their page besides them going for things to do? What are we saying, like, you know, top 3% air quality, 300 houses for sale, I don't know,
Mhm.
what are we doing to actually sell Trinidad
Have you
besides?
seen what the state of Colorado tourism website has been doing lately? They've been like putting together like 2-day trip, 3-day trip, like for when you're there. And basically you go in there
So us-
and it's like,
so
oh,
us
here's
trying
go to
so-
Los Angeles Grill for breakfast.
So us like create an itinerary.
Yeah.
We
I-
have
Yeah.
those downloaded on our site about 3 years ago. For about 3 years, we did
Mhm.
couple day trips. That was the old website.
Right, so I just created, a 3-day itinerary that's gonna go up on the Colorado website,
Cool.
in February for the summer
Mhm.
months.
Uh-huh.
So again, we create those a quarter ahead of time. So
An interesting
we have
thing.
one, it's called the Trinidad Trifecta, and we have 3 days
That's
of
cool.
what to do.
Yeah, and I really love that the fact that on that website there's different options. Like there's different 3-day trips, there's like 2-day trips. If you're just there for 1 day, like here's the things that are fun to do on that 1 day. And it at least gives people an idea of the things that are around. But it's done in an interesting, like almost storytelling type of way that compels people. So, yeah.
An interesting thing that I've seen in the last 2 weeks is the sales tax revenue page of what the city gets. And it's mind-boggling. In January, it is so flat.
Mm-hmm.
February is flat. March, spring break, starts to climb a little bit. It peaks at August. And that's where we have some events going on. But the thing of it that's so interesting to me is how flat, and the city sees this, it's printed every year, but they don't act on it. They don't act on, we need some things going on in these months that there are flat.
Yeah.
And that's where I see, as like Joey says, a working partner with the city as to what do we have going on in January.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at this sales tax graph, peaking in August, or the Blues Fest, and then Art Cape follows, and, Labor Day, and then it drops again.
Mhm.
But that should be the biggest indicator for the city as to where we need things going on. That thing should peak at the beginning of June all the way,
It's a good.
and it doesn't.
That's
I'm
a
gonna
great
vote-
point, so that, is that, sorry, Cornelia, so what are the things to do in January itinerary in Trinidad?
Well, and one thing really interesting that I was just at the Economic Outlook Forum in Denver on Monday, and 24% of all winter outdoor recreation in the entire country is spent in Colorado. So, it'd be definitely to our benefit to figure out what type of winter recreation we can offer to them, because really just our one state accounts for almost a quarter of all the money spent in the entire country in that industry.
Things.
And is it primarily skiing, or what is it?
I'm assuming it is, yeah.
I'm
But
sure that's what it is.
it would still be, I think, good for us to figure out what we can offer in that. And I think like Ouray, Colorado is a good example. They didn't really have skiing options. They created that ice climbing facility, and that's world renowned, brings people from all over to come do that. And so yeah, I do think it'd be to our benefit to figure out what it is we can offer. I think, yeah.
That's what I like to take, that $20,000 that we set aside for someone to do something in January, February.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Create
like
something.
we gave, the comedy $10,000 to create that. You know, that's what I would like to see, those months that are down, is to, someone to create something
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
When
those
you ask,
months.
you ask any restaurant business or even small business, January, February, they might not make it.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know, it's tough.
I hate to go, but
And
actually
I'm good in
now.
January, I hate to say that, I'm good in January.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
always busy, but February is my drop-off month.
But this January, everyone understands is, their minimum wage raises.
Yeah.
I have a question to you guys as a store owner.
$100,000.
Yeah, as a store owner, I had a couple come in from Austin, Texas, 3 young kids. And I kinda was speechless, because you don't get that, they weren't babies, they were older. And go back to, what do we do in Trinidad? My grandkids are visiting me, what do you suggest we do? That's the stuff that I get involved with a lot of times into my shop. I honestly don't know what to say. I actually picked up Arcade pamphlet, my last one on the table, gave it to them, the girl said, I don't need that, I'll Google it. I said, okay, go out and look at it. I'm kinda stumped that this is what we're faced with on a daily basis. We got a lot of people coming in for bicycle and hiking, they're not coming into the store and asking me questions, because they already know, they already got that Google. It's the families that are coming in that I don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you
that-
send
that
them
is
on
the
Highway
difference.
12, you send them.
All the time, but I first send them to the walking center and then go to the Highway 12, I always do.
But Camilla, I think one of the things the tourists
I gotta
look
run.
for is.
Molly, you gotta go, thank you. Whenever you
Right.
have any,
I don't know.
whenever you have any kind of input for it, we.
So, and there's one thing I was gonna add, this is what we were talking about earlier about the wormhole. One thing that the city is working on doing right now is getting some signs directing people to it and putting bike lanes on, Nevada to connect the bike trail to the wormhole.
Yeah.
And so that way at least
Thank you.
people can kind of see that,
Thanks,
so.
Wally. Keep us updated, let us know.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, so I, back to Camilla's question here of not knowing what to suggest. That kind of surprises me because you're a native.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, if they were a young couple, Highway 12, do the scenic route, go to Rumor, go for a walk. I'm talking about the 12-year-old and 11-year-old and 8-year-old, when the grandmother says, my children are visiting, what do I do in Trinidad? I know how to send people up on the Highway of the Legends. I give them a complete detailed map, and then I said,
Well,
first
yeah,
I
what do
send
you do
down-
for the 8 to 18-year-olds?
What do you do for the 8-year-olds and the 10-year-olds
Well,
at the
well,
same?
Do
okay.
you have anything in the Welcome Center?
We do a scavenger hunt. So I have a scavenger hunt set up in the welcome center.
And do you have anything
That I
for
send them to?
families that they could do in that time?
I am kind of in the same boat as Camilla.
Okay.
Okay,
Do you
So when I
have,
do
do you
send them
have,
to-
do you have the skate park?
Yep,
And do you have
Yep.
the trails?
right.
Do a lot of people tell you or ask you what their interests are and do you have them?
Oh, absolutely, I go
Yeah.
straight to the Trinidad corner and everything that we have is there. There's nothing missing, everything that is available in Trinidad is in that corner. But again, with Camilla's issue as far as youth and what to do, right now, there's not a whole lot. There's just not. I sent it to the museums.
Let's define this. What does not have anything to do? What does that mean?
What
Okay.
with a young,
Tell me-
age,
okay.
Doesn't have
One at a time,
Okay,
one at a time.
Let me give you a scenario, 18 degrees outside,
Well, let's
cold,
talk,
what is there to do?
I understand seasonally, I understand. But what is there to do in other small towns in the winter? We don't have skiing because we
Yeah.
don't have that terrain. What's that noise?
It's the warning we're supposed to leave.
no, I'm talking about the 8-year-old, the 11-year-old, and the 12-year-old. Something like a little museum, an interactive museum for younger children. I sent them out to Arcade for the museum. They're not gonna go to the wormhole, and they're not gonna go to the Trinidad Dam.
Why?
Because what is for the young age and 11-year-old to do?
Hike?
They're not hiking. Let's dump the hiking scenario. These kids they don't want to
No.
hike.
I can
Yes.
tell you some things that local families do that come in, that stay at the hotels, that are looking for things to do, that may have an older sibling going to the Trinidad State Junior College when the weather is bad. I've seen people doing snowshoeing. They've asked if they can buy them anywhere in town. They go out to Trinidad late in the cold days. We commonly send people downtown to do the walking tour when things are closed and it's, just like this time of year and there's not very much for them to do, but they wanna get around. If you're not even talking about the areas of walking out. So we actually have to get that. People all the time, I start hearing bocce balls at the hotel, because people all the time, I say, we'll go down to the park and play bocce, just to give families something to do, but nobody in town sells bocce balls. And
On that point right there, can we buy a couple of sets and have them at the Welcome Center?
Yeah.
That you can check out?
That's a good idea.
You check them out, you give them your shoes or something.
I think you need to address this nothing to do issue by season.
Yeah.
We are not a winter destination, we are a spring, summer, fall destination.
One thing on that one is, we're kind of like in the banana belt, and it's so nice here, where in Denver, it could be a blizzard.
Right.
And right here, it's not, and I think we are cold, but no, we're not as cold.
Ouch. Did that go into your ears?
So we need to devise things that we think are
That's
what you
useful.
think, Nancy.
Yeah, no,
I'm always the odd man out, and I believe.
Because
You're not
I think,
always.
I
think
believe
we're
we
like
have a
global.
lot to do here in the
I
spring, summer,
agree
fall.
with you.
In the winter, I don't see that many tourists coming in and asking, what do we do here now?
Oh, I do.
Well,
I
I,
do.
we-
I do.
then get a list together.
see, for us at the
What?
hotels
I
right
don't
now,
know.
for us, and I will actually help to start that list, and we can pass it around, see what we can add to it. But from the college kids, that's my biggest thing. The parents that come in to see their kids at the college, they bring younger siblings,
Oh, yeah.
and they're in that age group that you're referring to.
Just like right off of your head, what do you say, Camilla, if on a cold day, what you can go do? If you, somebody came in and told you, if a family
You
came
saw
in.
that expression on my face just now? I'm kinda
You know,
stumped.
you
You
know,
guys,
so,
I'm kinda, and I'm not
Nancy,
talking some little
if
kid that's
it's-
gonna
if
go,
it's-
the 18-year-old that's gonna go out and play bocce ball. I'm talking about what this lady's gonna do with her 8-year-old granddaughter.
Okay, well, my question was, you can't think of any.
I sent him to Arcade,
Okay.
I sent him to his museum, and the lady told me it was closed. I
Nancy?
it was on a Monday, I kinda was lost.
Okay, Nancy,
Well, we send them on Highway 12.
for a ride,
We,
on
yes.
Highway of Legends.
Yeah, and it
That's
depends
a
on the
given.
weather. It depends on, if it's a nice warm winter day,
Mhm.
we'll tell them to go along the Riverwalk. We tell them to go up Highway 12. We tell them to go to Arcade. We tell them, that, sometimes you can play golf in the winter. It depends.
Our climate.
That's right. We are climate friendly. We have the best 4 seasons in the state,
I-
I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And I so
Now,
totally
in
agree
the
with her.
summertime, it's easy. You've got fishing, hiking, biking, camping, you've got Monument Lake, you've got the golf course, you've got the swimming pool.
Summer's easy.
Summer's easy.
Yep.
But I don't think that the volume of our tourists come until March. And
Well,
I may be wrong.
they're coming,
March is
they're coming through
crazy
now
busy.
too.
Yeah.
They're coming through now, they'll stay here during Christmas, overnight, a couple of nights, on their way to their destination as that. So,
And I
so
also
what do you-
suggest-
what do you say?
Well, I
Shopping,
look at
shopping, I also
also,
suggest shopping.
you know, I do a lot of different things. Again, it's based on the weather. So in that age group, you know, Raggio's been a really great thing. People really don't recognize as much pottery is made for the kids. It depends on what they are. You know, you know, we're talking about if it's 18 degrees and, you know, they can go to the movies, they can go to Skateland. That's big for a lot of people that come through here because a lot of smaller communities, especially people that come here from Cimarron area and those, they don't have some of those amenities. It just depends on and I think I do that so much, I'm gonna start a list and then let's all add to that list and maybe we can come up with something for the website on what we can do every month of the year based on good weather or bad weather.
I wanna clarify something right now. All they've got suggestions, did you guys, Highway 12, golf course? I suggest all those. I'm not kidding you. And I sent them down to the Welcome Center. On top of all that, I sent them to the Welcome Center, but I suggest all that. My question to you is with the grandmother coming in with the 8-year-old and 11-year-old, where do I bring them today?
Okay,
There
Joey?
is a difference between telling somebody to go for a highway on Highway 12 because that 8-year-old is really gonna enjoy that.
Well,
The
but
mother,
it's
the
just,
grandmother
it's
will.
just, it's just getting a few points as to where we
Right,
can send them.
right, and that's
Joey,
the hard
what-
part.
But, I mean,
what do you suggest, Joey?
I mean, most tourists that are traveling have kids.
That's
I mean,
right.
A lot of people have kids, and that's the problem I think we're having is we don't have nothing I'm saying, right now in the winter, we're in the winter. I'm sorry, but we're in the winter. That's basically what it is. Say it's 18 degrees outside, the only two places you can probably go is Skateland and the community center. You're not gonna send somebody out nowhere else around town. You're not gonna go to the skate park at 18 degrees and it's cold outside in winter.
So we've
need to
identified that
create
we don't
something.
have anything.
We don't have
What
anything.
What?
can we create?
What can
Right,
we create?
So see
That's
mine.
we have to move on.
So mine is like arcade, the skate park. On a nice day, you can take your kids to the skate park. Joey says the rec center. The wormhole if you like to hike and it's a warm day.
I
You
sent them up
know,
to the
so
college.
the thing of it is all of these things is not every little town has indoor things for people to
Right.
do. Not everybody. But we are lucky in a lot of settings. To the west of us, from Trinidad on up, we're in a better shape than a lot of them, but they also have skiing.
I agree.
Where everybody's
Right.
heading. But the thing of it is that this city needs to build on and things for families to do if they want. And that's the question that we're always asking. What is the city willing to do to create
But
these
Tom,
things?
I don't understand why you keep saying the city.
Well,
The city isn't the tourism
this
board.
is-
That,
this-
they're going
the-
to say, this
we-
is why you
we-
get lodger's tax.
That's right. We advertise to
What
come
the
and do
city
things
is.
here. We don't have the money to create those things, is what you have to understand.
I don't, the city won't
Yeah.
create recreational facilities.
They are right now, they're starting with Fisher's Peak.
Well, that's
And,
state,
well,
that's state.
it's gonna be part of the city also.
But I'm saying, the city council, the city of Trinidad, the city manager, mayor, so on and so forth, are going to say, that's not our job.
So Marty, when you said that you had created an itinerary for a couple days in Trinidad, what did that itinerary consist of?
What they have some guidelines that you follow, so they ask you to pick a place to send them for breakfast. And then what are they gonna do during the day? So, say day one, you wake up at the La Quinta with a beautiful view out the, your room window, and you, right there, you leave from the La Quinta and you go to Trinidad Lake State Park. And you spend the day at Trinidad Lake State Park and you see the KT boundary. And you hike one of the many trails that they have, or you do fishing, or you can do boating, or any of the outdoor recreational events that are there. On the way back, you can see, or on the way out there, you see the Sangre de Cristos. On the way back, you see Fisher's Peak. And after you leave Trinidad Lake State Park, then you go downtown and you visit one of our restaurants. Bricks is a great place to have whatever Bricks might have for dinner. After you finish eating at Bricks, you have an early meal, you go to SCRT and take part in one of our repertory theater productions. And there's a date. okay? Or you can go to lunch when you leave Trinidad Lake State Park and go to Tequila's and have lunch, and then you go, and visit some of the museums. So you create
When we did that,
activities and
yeah.
places to
Here.
eat, breakfast,
I
lunch,
don't know,
dinner.
there's no way we can access what we had done before. I know we were a little scared about using certain restaurants, so we said like breakfast, there's, you know, Tony's, LA Grill, we didn't like scoop it, it just.
They
didn't want to
specify
because-
that
oh,
you
okay.
pick, that you create the day.
Hmm.
So I might send them to Nana and Nano's before they take a ride up Scenic Highway of Legends. So
Mhm.
stop at Nana and Nano's and get some lunch meat and cheeses and pack your lunch. Picnic lunch, and then you head up Highway 12 and you view the Scenic Highway of Legends. You stop at Monument Lake Park and you go fishing for the day, or you hike around the park and you have a picnic. And then you leave there and you know, finish your Highway of Legends, come back to Trinidad, and then you go to, you know, whatever. So you create an entire
Right.
itinerary for the day, and that's what they're asking for.
So can I say something like our Facebook page? Can we create a certain amount of these itineraries of different things to do?
We used to have them on the site.
And at least they can pick from them, and at least they see what they can, what there is to do here.
On Facebook or website?
The website and the Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that was a good work session, we're going into, let's,
We have to convene,
Yeah.
and
do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in
Third.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, anybody wanna take a break, or do you wanna go right into
Move
our?
right into it, because I gotta get going.
Okay,
No offense, but I'm not going.
roll call again, Camilla,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
Nancy,
Yes.
Joey,
Here.
me. Presentation, review, advertising proposals, I think we've all decided that we're gonna, hold these, wrong agenda,
Okay,
wrong
well,
agenda,
to the next
yeah.
agenda.
Anybody who have any other petitions or communications or written that they wanna talk about?
No.
Approval of minutes from November 13th, has everybody had time to read those?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Second,
I'll second.
Roll call. Camilla,
Here.
Nancy,
Yes.
Joey,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
I
Si.
thought we did that.
yes. Approval of invoices, we can do these as a whole pack
and will
unless,
you add the tourism postage to that
and the
list?
tourism postage, so unless anybody has any problem with any individual bill, we need approval for the SERT program ad, Phillips Broadcasting, and actually SERT was approved a long time ago, we just never made it. SERT, that was for the ad for last year, in the back of their program guide or on the back cover. SERT, it was $750. Phillips Broadcasting, Code Design or
Code Designer.
Solution. Fulfillment, postage for November, Upfront Media, the billboard, Savoya, wholesale for the, Christmas stuff that we're doing out on the lighting and then the tourism postage, which is the same. Would anybody like to, make a motion to approve
Motion
those?
to approve them.
A second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Old business, the chamber luncheon. The dates available for the chamber luncheon?
Chamber luncheon, there is, the January luncheon is open, there is one in August, and I believe there's one in December. That's all they have left for the year, so if you still want to host a luncheon for the Chamber of Commerce, the best one is probably for January.
But I think when we host it, I would like to give them some analytical figures on what's going on, so I'm not comfortable doing it in January unless.
It won't be available again until the fall. Do you wanna pick one of those fall ones?
What do you guys feel? Camilla?
We'll go with the fall.
Yeah, we'll just do a fall one.
Okay.
Nancy?
Let's have a cancellation.
Joey? Okay,
Awesome.
And there is a $200 sponsorship fee.
yeah. New business, fall grant cycle applications, Trinidad Los Animas County Chamber of Commerce.
Just of note, Triggers filled out an grant application, but it was incomplete, so I had to return it, and I haven't received a new one yet, so she's I haven't heard from her, this would be Kim,
Okay, is it, is
but I
everybody?
returned it to her as incomplete, she used an old application. So I sent her the new application and told her to fill out the checklist and have all those items, so it was incomplete when she submitted the first time.
Okay, so has everyone had the time to review the grant application for the chamber? Joey, do you wanna start on your input?
This is the one with Whiskey Creek and all that, right? That was on this. River Chamber?
The Chamber of Commerce and Santa Fe Trail.
Yeah.
Santa Fe Trail, this.
Yes.
And this is for the date of the event, June 12th and 13th, 2020. And as I understand it, they are still being downtown, correct?
Yes. And the application was complete. All items were submitted.
And they are looking for, $6,000.
No, they're
No.
looking for $12,000.
Oh,
They're looking for $4,631 from last year, they're requesting. They're
Well,
asking for $6,000 for 50-mile radius beyond Trinidad this year. So, they're saying 12, so I don't know where they're coming up with 12, but the total budgeted
because
budget was 14,000.
so without doing last year's, just staying on track for this year's. Last year's budget was about $4,600 for advertising, and this year they're estimating it to be $6,000.
Okay, and I got something on that. Last year, their advertising was $800 beyond the 800-mile radius, and their local advertising was $2,085. I don't know where they got any more advertising that, but that was about $2,800, $2,900, but they're saying the last year, their, marketing and advertising was, $4,600. So I don't know if don't know where they're coming up with the rest of that money.
I think we go the same way we did with the other ones, is I think bills incurred, we could
Okay.
pay,
No, so
on
what-
out. I think
Well-
that's how you do this one. Again, I mean, it's like, their books, they don't match up to what they're always asking. Right?
So something like up to $4,600 for advertising and promotion, but those bills have to go through the city, and they have to be paid through the city, we just don't hand them the money.
Well, they pay their own bills and we reimburse.
Yeah,
That's how
but it-
they've done it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can go back on this year's, I don't think you can give them money from this year
For last
for last year. Like, cause it was originally denied because of their books.
So,
Here's,
no, you go ahead.
here's an interesting thing right here. The approximate portion of the budget dedicated beyond a 50-mile radius of Trinidad is $6,000. So that's within our guidelines, right? So
Yes.
that's where we work, is with that 6,000. And then we take into account of what they had spent the previous year on the advertising. But I think our number is the 6,000 that we work with. That's not the 12,000.
According to the tourism guidelines, the
It's-
money has
it's-
to be.
Right, so there's our thing right there, we work within the 6,000, and we go from that one.
Right, and we can put, although we haven't done it with them in the past, we can put, but those bills have to be turned into the city and we pay it versus them.
And-
Or we could
and
put
we-
that they
we-
pay it, but they have to give us the invoices so we could pay it.
Or we,
But it has to be ad for advertising.
or we
It's
will
easier
go,
for them to pay their own
Right,
invoices
we-
because of our government process.
Process, yes.
We will-
I agree.
we will go up to 6,000, or we will go up to, what your advertising budget has actually come to at the end of.
Well, I think we gotta do a cap. I think
You're
even if we do $5,000, no more than $5,000, but we will pay your invoices that you have paid.
I
But it has to be for
I would
advertising.
go to the 6,000 that they're asking for.
But it has to be
With,
turned in
with
bills.
paid invoices.
With
And-
paid invoices.
And that's what we would cover, is up to $6,000 with paid invoices.
Yeah,
If it's lower than the $6,000, then that money is returned, or that money is not given.
yeah.
Yeah, because we're not gonna give them the $6,000, they have to come in with their invoices,
what
right?
you're saying.
I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
a
good with
good
Well,
that.
if that's, they did our
Yeah.
work for us.
I mean, we
They-
do
Yeah.
wanna support them. It's
Mhm.
not that we don't wanna support them,
I
but
wanna
just
give them
support
up to $6,000.
Yeah, so would somebody like to make a motion for up to $6,000 with turned in bills? Tom, would you like, is that your motion?
I'll make the motion that we, give them $6,000.
Up to $6,000.
Up to $6,000, which they have requested, with, portion going to a 50-mile radius, with, their invoices turned in and paid upon that. Does that sound?
Does anybody wanna second that?
I'll second that.
Roll call, Camilla,
Aye.
Nancy?
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay? Expired terms, board members, I don't know if that's, anything that we need.
That's
to-
just a reminder that you need, if you, are going to run again, if you're interested in running again for the tourism board, to submit your letters of intent.
When do we have to submit those letters of intent?
Your term expires in February.
So that's be like February 1st,
I would do so before then.
middle of January?
Right, that it's also open to others applying for
Right.
the position
Yeah.
as well, so that's been advertised.
Okay, so I'm going to make an announcement. I will not be re-upping. I have a business opportunity I'm going to take advantage of, and I don't feel I'll have the time to, devote to the board. I've learned a lot. I think we've made a lot of progress, but this is something that I want to do. It takes me back into the construction business with the developer in New Mexico, Carlsbad, New Mexico. We're in the final stages of negotiating my contract, and it was a long, hard, thought-out decision, but it's something that it gives me an opportunity to do what I love to do. It gives me a break from the bar business. It allows me to go to another community to help a developer do something that he doesn't know how to do, that when he approached me about it, I was very flattered. I didn't think he was serious. But over the last 4 or 5 months, it's become a reality. So I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Nancy, you have been an integral, great part of our board.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Tom.
It's actually like
If
the board
you
review.
have any questions on other things that, you know, I can share, I'd be glad to visit with you one-on-one.
Thanks, Nancy, and thanks for your hard work.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Anybody else have any other input on that, for, the board, for the, expired terms?
How many people are we trying to get on our board? I got
What's
some,
our
I got
limit?
some
Five is
interest.
Five is the whole board.
Five's the whole board.
Five's the,
Yeah.
are we trying to fill more or just keep it at
No.
5?
You can't.
You can't.
Oh, it
It's
can't.
45.
You can't.
It's
Oh,
an
'cause it-
ordinance.
Well, did you see the thing that they put in there that they are, the city put out something that they're trying, there's spaces available on this board, there's 2 seats.
Three, me, you, and.
That's
Oh,
three
oh, is that
seats.
it? Oh.
Yeah, okay, so that's what they're basically saying.
They want the seat,
They want
okay.
your seat.
They want your seat.
Okay, so,
All you have to do is get your letter of intent to retain your seat.
okay, and then, staff reports, so, the photo contest, Marty?
There's a copy of the flyer that I produced, and that is being printed into posters as you requested. It's live on the website, so they can download their application on the website. It's also been placed on Facebook.
It has been, because I've seen it, yes.
I think we need a full page ad in the Chronicle News. I think we need to, if
I
we're
agree.
gonna push this, we need to push it on Chronicle News. I think a couple times we probably need to put a couple banners on the top if we can get them, just to really
The
push it.
banners on the top are good, but usually those are, people own them after they start advertising. Can you, I don't know
How
what
about
an
the
ad
New
costs.
Legends Bank?
Yeah,
Or
maybe
have
News
these.
Legend would be a great
So,
one, if he's
you don't want a whole page.
cheap enough.
Yeah.
No,
You
Half a
want
page.
maybe
half a page.
Half a page or.
Quarter page.
Or 2x4 or.
Quarter
Or
page.
quarter page 3 times or something. Let's-
Just to get the word out.
yeah,
Quarter page
Yeah.
3 times?
that's what I would say. I don't, what is it?
I think definitely both, boost on our Facebook and our site.
It has been coming up several times on, the Facebook and Visitor, it has been, I've been seeing it come
I
up.
pinned it to the top of the page.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'd like to do too on our Facebook is we can, I don't know how that works through the city, but we should be able to attach a credit card to boost our Facebook ads, so it will
There
go
is
more.
one.
sort of different radius, like, so we can go 100-mile radius.
There is one set up, it used to be with Tara Marshall, to boost that, it was a city credit card, let's find out about
Yeah,
that, that's still.
that would be a
useful.
great boost
She
to
had
do.
loaded it, you know, before she left a year ago or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's one.
I didn't know we had that.
Yeah,
Sure, I think.
yeah.
Alright.
We look at something new every
So
day.
we haven't finished that quite, so Tom has suggested that, we place an ad for this also in New Legends magazine. And since it's a weekly periodical, and this gets done with as of February, how should that happen? Input?
I think the first, just do one, I mean, really, they should go to see it, anything. Cause it's gonna be, I mean, once it's out there, I think people are gonna, they're gonna start taking pictures as soon as they see it.
I
So
think
maybe
so.
the weekly periodical that New Legends has, the week of Christmas to New Year's, because that's when we get busier in town, right after Christmas, we're kinda slow except for some passengers going through.
Well,
No, go ahead.
World Journal, everybody reads that paper. Sorry,
World
and
Journal.
over Legends, it's the World Journal that everybody reads, that I hear from people.
Well, if we could put an ad in all three.
All three,
Yeah.
All three.
quarter page ad and all
And
three
so,
would be
would
fine.
somebody like to make a motion that we would like to do an ad in all three periodicals, the, three
Same
times?
size.
When's this start?
The contest opens January first, but I'm putting it out there earlier, so
Yeah.
people
So
know.
people see,
Uh-huh.
so that would be
Yeah.
good.
Well, let's-
Yeah.
So does somebody wanna make
Next
a
week.
motion, up to how many dollars, are we putting a limit on this, or are we just saying we're doing it? and
Well,
Marty's gonna follow suit?
It's a
Well, can we check
Yeah.
prices? I mean, can you
I
get a
think
price?
that's just,
Up to, I guess we probably do need
You
to set a
probably can
budget.
make a motion though, that
Yeah,
So I can get
what
my
does
motion.
$100 each ad give us?
That'd be
I mean,
good.
enough.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
so-
that's enough.
Okay,
Alright,
so who made that motion?
I'll make a motion to do all three, to advertise in all three, newspapers, $100 each. The
Each
week,
ad?
the end week of what, December, what would be that, Monday?
do you wanna do it 1st of January?
Well, we want it out before
Because
January,
it's
right?
so confusing to Christmas?
No, I think.
No, you wanna do it right
still
away?
do it
Okay.
right away.
Well, and you had said,
The week of the
somebody had said
29th.
3 times in the
29th.
Chronicle, so then that would go like that week of Christmas and maybe a couple, 2 weeks apart in
And
January.
even one after the contest opens, so
Yeah.
that you capture those
Yeah.
that didn't
Right.
see
Yeah,
it.
absolutely, well, with
Yeah.
3 there would be.
Okay.
What do you think of, the radio?
Yeah.
I can do that on our radio ads
Yeah,
that
we
we
have
already
them.
paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
There's
do
no
we have a
cost to that.
second?
I'll second
All in favor, Camilla?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
Aye.
Does anybody hear any of our tourism ads on KCRT?
I was actually listening to the radio yesterday, I heard them, and I
Did
actually
you?
heard,
Okay,
I saw one on TV too.
okay, alright, cause I've
But
been
the
doing
one on TV
regular
does have
radio
the wrong
ads,
address.
but I didn't know if anybody's actually been hearing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're good. Actually, it makes me feel so small town when I turn on the radio in the morning. I just love it. Making coffee and listening to our local radio.
So
Okay,
the tourism board wished everybody a Merry Christmas, just so you know that.
nice. Everybody in the universe?
Everybody in the
Everybody in the
world.
universe.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. Trolley update.
Trolley update, right now our ridership for 2019, we had 4,047 people riding the trolley this year. Total summer, we had 2,856.
Comparative values to next year, do we have that
previous year.
from previous year?
I don't, well, I
Okay.
didn't have any of that, I
Okay.
don't think anybody kept that information.
Okay.
Our shuttle program, we had a total of 83 riders.
For that
So,
short period that we
For
had.
that short period that we had. Trolley tours, we had 16 specific trolley tours that we gave last year. We had Senator Cory Gardner, we had the Small Business Development Center, we had Urban Neighborhoods, Phil Long Media, Colorado Funders, Club 190, the Class of '69, Dana Crawford had a retreat, El Pomar, Julesburg Welcome Center, Shop with a Cop, Trinidad Catholic Class Reunion, Trust for Public Lands, La Vida Study Group, a family reunion, the Comedy Festival utilized it, Los Angeles Times, and the Blues Fest. We had 340 riders in special trolley tours, which was really good. Now, December, we have our home lighting tours, and I'm estimating 768. Our trolley is really being used a lot.
Yes.
It's
When,
good.
when you are done with the trolley tours,
and the presentation that we made to the city, can you put that information with that packet?
Yep.
That way it stays with everything for 2019?
Yep.
Do you have the numbers I'd asked about as far as year-to-date visitors?
That's in my welcome center. So
Okay.
just the trolley.
Okay.
So trolley update, I actually rode the trolley with my family. My input on it is, we gotta get the trolley fixed, plain and simple.
What's wrong?
It
Shocks.
scrapes so much,
Oh.
it's gonna, that trolley's so expensive. If you guys would've heard how many times it scraped, I thought the bumper was gonna fall off.
We
Are
have a
you-
warranty going with that still, can we,
The shocks were never upgraded like they were supposed to be when the trolley was
can we get
purchased.
an amount that it costs then to replace the shocks?
If they don't get fixed, I would stop the tour.
Yeah,
That's how
Why,
bad it is.
why hasn't it been fixed? Isn't it a safety item?
Well, was it ordered with ultra deluxe shocks?
it
I
was
don't know
ordered with
anything about it
everything
when it
altered
was
to
ordered.
I mean, we really need to have air shocks on that and probably raise it 2 or 3 inches, honestly.
Well,
I mean, you're coming out of, and thank goodness we didn't do the movie Picture Show House, or what it's called here. Getting in there, scrapes, getting out of there, scrapes.
But-
Probably 5 different neighborhoods, scrapes. I mean, you can't even drive that trolley nowhere in town that doesn't scrape, that's how bad it was.
okay, who ordered the trolley? Who actually? put it?
Jonathan.
Okay, we need to get that order, first of all, and find out specifically what kind of shocks were ordered. Or go to the manufacturer with those concerns. If we got it without what we ordered.
I just
Then
think
we-
that it needs to have the upgrades
Anyway.
of the air shocks.
I thought we ordered. We
Well, I
didn't?
remember, when I
Jonathan
first started
had
the
all the
meeting,
bells and
we
whistles.
talked about this when I first came on to tourism, we discussed this. And
I
I thought it was done, and
I thought
I
it was
mean,
done too.
literally,
Actually,
it
that
ruined
was
the
cheap.
ride, going through the lights and all, it ruined the ride, cause
Well-
it's like, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, we spent so much money on this thing, and everywhere you go,
So let's find out.
Let's get some bids.
it's terrible.
Let's get it done.
Well, let's
Well,
just
let's
get it
see
to-
our
Yeah.
thing and get it done, yeah. agree.
Somehow I remember Jonathan saying that the reason why he had decided this one was because it could be serviced in Colorado Springs versus another trolley company that was in Durango, cause they would have to drive it over there, so that we could actually drive the trolley to get it repaired somewhere close. So, let's figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, we have the
Thanks for
reserves,
that. Thanks for
I
that.
definitely, that'd be
Yeah.
above
And
getting
yeah.
the shuttle.
Yeah.
The thing
For
of it is,
sure.
Marty, is not the shocks that are on there to be replaced with, but shocks that are made for our city streets.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
the dips that,
Or a lift kit, maybe a lift
Yeah.
kit.
That's
It
right.
might need, or different tires that raises it a
Yes.
few inches,
We-
something.
We,
to
we,
get it up
we
there.
should be figuring this out, I mean.
Yeah.
yeah, and just
Okay.
be taken care of right.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, welcome center report, thanks for that, Joey.
I'm supposed to be going on tonight, so I'll let you know.
Welcome
Sorry.
center report. So our yearly total for 2019, right now we are at hold on, let me find the right one. $22,932 visitors for the year.
That's great. And can you-
Last year, we were at 21,568, so we increased our visitors for the year. And I just wanna go back just a tad. I printed out total visitation since 1986, when the visitor center opened. The first year that we opened, we had 34,701 visitors. Our highest point was in 1998, and we had 166,152 visitors. In 2003, our visitors numbers dropped significantly, almost in half, from 123,000 to 71,137.
Say that year again,
That
I'm
is
sorry.
the year, that is the
2003.
year that they took out the
Mhm.
2 exit ramps
Yes.
on Stonewall.
Mhm.
Or Stonewall? Yeah.
That's when they started the construction that
That's
year?
when they began construction. Since then, they have done nothing but drop. 85,000, 80,000, 72,000, 61,000, 51,000, 45,000, down to 24,000. 18,000 was our lowest visitation in 2017.
Wow.
So
This
we
is
have
the
to do a
first year
better
we've
job
actually
of-
done an increase
We have to do a better job of
No, what is
advertising.
it this year?
in 14 years, 22,198.
You made an interesting point yesterday, Marty, that speaking of, welcome center locations, that actually of exit 11 at the Shell station, within that vicinity, there are 5 hotels, 4 restaurants, Walmart, 2 pot shops, and the volume of stop-offs there, do you have?
And 3 RV parks.
3 RV
And
parks.
like 65% of the income from the city of Trinidad comes from
Comes
that
from that
border.
area.
Right. It is the
Yes.
highest penetration of all the exits from the New Mexico border to, Colorado City exit.
Yeah.
It has the highest penetration
So
of
by
exit
knowing
11.
that information, what can we derive from that? Is to have signage there to stop at the welcome centers, welcome center, what can we learn from that statistic?
If you're gonna do signage, yes, you should have signage there that's gonna direct them to the welcome center. However, you have signage after they leave that area, you have 5 points of signage.
Mm-hmm.
We now have a billboard that says exit 13B. You have the CDOT signage that says Colorado Welcome Center, exit 13B. When you get off that exit at 13B, you have another sign at Main Street that directs them down Main Street, or east on Main Street. Then you have another sign that takes them across the bridge towards the Welcome Center. Then you have the 5th piece of signage that has this little bitty sign that says Welcome Center that way. Plus you have the big Welcome Center. But we still get individuals, travelers, that say we had a hard time finding it.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all of that. Southbound, we have no signage whatsoever.
Mhm.
There's nothing that tells anybody how to get to the Welcome Center going southbound. I'm guessing we don't need them to go to the Welcome Center when they're going south. But I feel it's important to get them into the Welcome Center so we have the opportunity to get them into the community.
Mm-hmm.
Not just, that's Trinidad's opportunity, not the state's opportunity. State's opportunity is mostly going north. I get that, because we wanna show them what the state is all about and they're just getting here. When they're leaving the state, I feel that the city needs to capture them before they leave the state, so that they can do things before they're gone.
So would you
And they have
suggest-
no way to get them there.
So would you suggest one of those billboards that are coming in before you hit exit 14?
Well, one of the problems with, just because I've done billboards for lots of reasons over the years, is that there's no right-hand reads because of all the state of Colorado laws.
Right.
So maybe, one place that I've always thought would be a great billboard is the back of the old J&J building. If you're ready to get off there at that questionable intersection, to get onto Commercial Street, southbound, exit 14, right in front of you is the whole back of that building.
There's a thought. Or mounting a billboard on their
Right,
roof.
that's on, or just putting it as the back of the building, take a drive out there, that's the best probably.
Well, what about, this is way out there, but what about if we had a little hut, a little kiosk thing out there that was part of our welcome center, where people could actually, when they're out of their cars, going in to pay for gas, get a burger, get pot, whatever they're gonna do, that they can also swing by. Because it seems like once they've stopped there and they've eaten, gone to Walmart, they're out of here. That's the way it seems to me.
Yeah.
If there was a little something where it was manned by one of the volunteers,
Why'd you do that?
'cause I can feel you going,
Oh, no, I can build a building, what the heck?
If the Welcome Center was ever relocated, it would be my recommendation to put it
Put
at
it
exit
there,
11.
yeah.
If that were to ever reach
And-
fruition, that's where it should
but-
be.
but in
if that's not.
And that's counting, that's getting southbound traffic going north, not the southbound
You can
traffic
catch
coming
them
from
both
north.
ways by
Right,
that
that's
exit.
both ways.
Yeah, but they pass the city already if they're southbound.
they may be coming southbound to come to Trinidad. Who knows? But my thought is,
Here's,
we're trying to catch a fish without any bait.
here's a suggestion. The state of Colorado just gave the city of Trinidad access to this big, huge piece of property behind JR's on Main Street.
Yeah,
That's
Behind JR's on Main Street.
on the
the
west
dirt
end.
lot.
And they want, and Phil Rico brought it up to us at one of those meetings. That kiosk that you're talking about would be excellent right there. If they developed that as a parking area, the trolley could go in and out of there. Information, that's, to me, that would be an ideal place. 'Cause
Well,
you
you
have
still don't
semis
have
parked-
It's still,
majority of
it's still
traffic.
not on that exit 11, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it's the
our
same.
thing.
Those are
It's
CDOT
the
numbers.
same.
Yeah.
It's
CDOT
not-
numbers,
Exit 11 is great for northbound. For southbound, they've passed us. So I don't know if there's any signage. I don't think there's anything right-hand read.
Well, the state gave them, the city, the opportunity to develop that parking lot.
Right.
Right behind Joe.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's a big piece of property. It's the opening up of the trail walk right there.
Well, you can,
There's,
that is, it would be compatible, but not as big of an impact, because there's Sonic, but it's across the street. It's gas, you can park, there should be a dog walking area there.
well, there's the trail walk. the
But
trails.
if you were to do something like this, there are DOLA grants, I'm sure, that would help you find the funds to build a building or place a building. A little tiny home kind of hut thing is really all.
Well,
My
it's just like they're
t-shirt.
building these little
Well,
bathrooms,
excuse me.
just like they're building these little bathrooms for the city.
Yeah.
They come in, they drop that thing there,
Mhm.
all the facilities are in there with it.
Maybe,
And-
this is really odd, but what if the city gave that land or leased that land to tourism, and we could make it like a little stop with potties, dog walk, tourism hut,
Information center.
yeah.
That's just too close to the Welcome Center. I mean, you're asking them to go a block down now to the Welcome Center. We're trying to get those people from, that getting gas that's going to Wendy's, that are going to the pot shop on exit 11 to our Welcome Center. This little piece of property you're talking about, Sacred right there, that's a block away from the Welcome Center.
Who owns the property right next to, it's not Canica, what's the other one across there? By Wendy's?
Yeah.
What,
Native
Russ.
Roots.
who owns that little property right there in the
Duran.
corner?
You know where the Beckers
Oh, is it
stand?
Duran?
Yeah.
JR Drown's all the way to Tequila's.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, that'd be a good little spot right there, put a little
Another-
kiosk right there, cause that's where people go on that Wendy's, they go fill up, and then they come back through and go to Walmart.
Right.
To think about.
I-
And they exit right there, right?
I do think, you know, we have travelers today that are looking for ease of access,
Right.
you know, they want this easy,
They
that
want it
easy.
now.
So we are, in my opinion, batting our heads against the wall to get them to come down here. If we do capture them here, great, but I think we're missing the boat by, not having something available where they congregate.
Well, from two
Yeah.
from 2003 to today, we're down 49,000 people going to that Welcome Center. So,
So, you know, and I still, you know, with us talking about, the Welcome Center and driving people through there, I don't have any piece of material at the hotel that says while you're in Trinidad that
Visit
could
our
be
Welcome
displayed with a picture and that, and I would really like a piece of something.
Yeah,
for the
we need
hotel.
something in our visitors
Yeah.
guide that's more prominent as well. I don't see anything in the visitors guide.
Yeah.
But I still think, I mean, we're not getting no money from the state for this Welcome Center. I think we still need to make it more of Trinidad use than
Well,
state
that's the
use.
point, Joey, if we go
Yeah.
out there, it would be just Trinidad.
Yeah, I mean, this magical money that's coming is probably not ever gonna come again to this Welcome Center. So I think we need to refocus our Welcome Center to a Trinidad Business Center and make it more where you could have function, that you could have a coffee place in there, where you could change the whole layout of that Welcome Center. I mean, cause I think we're following these guidelines of the state, and then we're not getting the money from the state, so why are we following the guidelines?
Right.
Let's make it more for Trinidad.
So
Yeah.
that's probably the discussion, when when they decide that in June again, is to
So-
put that out there.
Yes, so the meeting that was, scheduled for the end of November, the 27th or
What
29th.
happened?
Kathy Ritter called my director and said that she was sick, she had a cold, and she just didn't feel good, so she wasn't going to keep the meeting. I haven't talked to Mayor Rico on whether that meeting was rescheduled or not, but that was the total conversation. Mayor Rico has been working with Kathy Ritter, conversing with her back and forth and setting up this meeting, and I don't think he's gonna drop the ball on it, I think it's gonna be rescheduled. And yes, we do have till June to find out if we're gonna be refunded. That being said, the Welcome Center in Trinidad, well, each of the state Welcome Centers underwent a state evaluation, and I wanted to share that report with you real quick. So, what it covered was Welcome Center operating costs, and I'll do this real fast.
Can you email it also?
I can. Welcome Center operating costs, total CTO contributions was 0. Local contributions was $92,400 for a grand total of $92,400. Those physical and capital improvements that were made locally were the billboard, I included that the tourism board funded. The seating areas that were the tables, chairs, and umbrellas that I placed in the front of the Welcome Center. New lighting for safety and illumination at $2,736. That's in your financials that you'll get next meeting, by the way, we'll have a financial report. And I included trolley operations as well. So they wanted to know what kind of contributions the city was making to the Welcome Center, since it is a Colorado Welcome Center. So I included all of those. Then they did performance indicators. So number of guests annually, and they rated us on a scale of 2 to 6. We were only awarded 2 points for that, because we are at low volume. As far as our numbers, Trinidad has the lowest number of visitors in the state.
What's astounding to me on this sheet, Julesburg, which is in the middle of nowhere. 2018, they had 363,000 visits.
Okay.
They're
The reason
connected
for
to
that being,
rest area.
Julesburg is the Colorado Department of Transportation rest area.
Oh, okay, okay.
So every one of the Welcome Centers has door counters.
Mhm.
So if they go in there to use the restroom and they walk back out, it counts them.
Is it the
And
same
it's
in
on the highway.
Burlington?
And it's on the highway.
And is it Burlington
Easy.
also a truck?
Same thing.
Okay, so anything that's in excess of 100,000 is probably a trucks or
Rest area.
Rest area. Okay, so Cortez though, who is Southwest, that goes up through what, Farmington?
Right.
Okay, 76,000.
On exit 20, that Colorado, rest area, is there anything, I know they had some ordinances about that building years ago, is there anything that we can put in stopping in Trinidad at the Welcome Center in that place?
Which rest area?
Exit 18 or 20 where that Colorado rest area is that
It's
have bathrooms, is there
All
anything?
the materials that are placed in there are by certified folder, and we have to pay
Yeah.
certified folder.
Is there any way that we can revisit and see? No, we can't. I knew there was some
We've
laws
already
that
done
went
that.
around with that, yeah. Cause that would be a great place to have it.
Well, our Welcome Center is being cannibalized. It's being gobbled up by the rest stop and by exit 18, and we're right in the middle. But we are not recognized, we are dismally low compared to, Cortez really shocks me.
So does Alamosa. Alamosa's not even on a major interstate.
Right.
We're on a major interstate, we're not
Right.
capturing those visitors.
So people are veering off I-25 to go.
Well, there's
Discover.
stuff, you know, I
160
stop
there.
at that
They
Welcome
capture the
Center,
160,
not often.
69.
But I stop at that Welcome Center, not often, the one at 18 or 20, maybe a couple times a year, 2-3 times a year. Yeah, and it's always busy, always busy.
People stop there, and the people that we capture at this Welcome Center are those that know that they've been there before, that know our restrooms are clean, and prefer to stop here rather than stop at a rest area.
Let's just face it, the loss of the 2 exits has
Mhm.
created this,
Mhm.
and since 2003, that thing should have been moved already. And who's gonna make the move to move it is the decision that has to be made, because it's not working where it's at.
Exactly right.
So the decision has to be made is for us to gain money from the state. They're telling us the volume has to be up. So we all know that the Welcome Center needs to be moved.
But we
Possibly
also
to
know
exit,
that that's not
possibly.
guaranteeing by moving to get money from the state because their
That's-
budget was cut.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying to us, the numbers are down, so they're not gonna fund it.
But they also said the budget was cut, and you're probably right, but they probably will not fund this again because the budget was
The
cut.
money that was initially allocated for the Trinidad Welcome Center, when whatever went on, and that the city lost the funding, was divided into two portions and was reallocated to two other welcome centers, and it can't be brought back to fund us.
Well,
If I
and
were-
the thing of it is, oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The thing of it is we do have a building for sale. So if the city sold that building,
It is
there
for
is,
sale?
no, I said,
Oh,
it is, well, it's an asset of the city.
uh-huh,
Those monies could be used to develop a new one.
right.
So those are the things that need to be looked at, is
Yeah,
there
'cause-
has to be a new welcome center developed.
What-
When you go from 177,000 to 24, you've got a problem.
I think that, I totally agree with you, John. I believe that, I would rather have, a community center, for lack of a better word, that promotes only tourism. And make it modern with digital maps, digital, links that people can go in and touch and look and feel, and that's what people like. They want to, it's an aesthetic experience. My wish for this board going forward is that you pursue something like that.
When, I'm just having a thought, like, if we could advertise even Main Street Welcome Center, and is there any of that, like, as soon as they get up on Main Street, right before they pass the corner with the marijuana shops, there was bombshells there and a few things. I'm trying to think of where a Welcome Center would be right downtown, where people, they would pull off and feel like they're right down there.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Uh-huh.
You guys are probably not gonna wanna hear this.
No, we like to,
But
we all play.
I love you, Charlie.
as a business owner,
Mhm.
and I've had numerous business just like all of us here on the team, if you look at the numbers, look at the big picture of it, it's a failing business.
Mm-hmm,
If it was my business, I would shut that thing down.
yeah, it's a money loser.
It's a money loser. So either we gotta get it right, figure it out and get it right, or we gotta close it down and change it.
Mhm.
I mean, it could be a children's museum, it could be a lot of different things, but that place right now is a loser.
Mhm.
It's not, we're holding on to something because we're trying to get money from the state. The state's not ever gonna give us that money for that thing.
I agree.
Well, and the thing of it is.
So we gotta change it.
It's not a significant amount of money that they're giving us.
No, for 90, what is it, over 92
60.
total, Marty?
What,
92,000?
for the Welcome Center?
Yeah, we're paying.
What was the,
Oh, yeah.
what was the state?
Is that
The
including
state was
wages
giving
too?
us 60.
The state was, see, it's not a significant amount
It
of
is
money.
right now, 61,662, including.
So it's a $30,000 loss as soon as you get the money. So we're trying to hold on to something that you're already going every year negative. Why would you ever have a business like that? The city would be, the city should be like, we gotta think of a different solution to help the city of Trinidad, not the state of Colorado, cause
Right.
we're not getting no money for the state of Colorado. We're using it, we should be using it for something with Trinidad.
Mhm.
Something with tourism to create tourism. We should have something in there with kids, you should have restaurants, you should have something in there that helps the city of Trinidad. And right now, we're losing $100,000 a month, or a year,
Yeah.
that's not doing nothing for Trinidad.
Right.
The biggest loss from that Welcome Center is the loss of visitors. $49,000 people since.
Which extrapolates into lost revenues for the city,
Right.
city sales tax, right?
Right.
You know, so it's,
Not that I wanna take your job, Marty.
I was gonna say, you're
I-
trying to ruin my
but
job.
It's not,
You're
it's
not
not
doing
that,
your job, it's
it's,
just we're
it's just,
looking
if you look at reality, it's like, it's not a moneymaker, it's not helping us at all, it's really not. I mean, if we're only getting 22 or 24,000 people, how many of the people are actually coming just for that welcome center?
And how many stay and come downtown?
Exactly.
Yeah, I wish we could just pick it up and put it right next to Main Street or something, just to try, so people don't feel.
Because I'd rather put $100,000 to a children's museum or $100,000 to a 8-year-old to 18-year-old function for the city, for the families. I'd rather use that money for something like that than to keep funding this thing and it's not going, we're not using it to create no tourism.
One of the things is a part of this big picture is the city wants to hang on to it. We don't know. But have they seen these numbers? Have from 2003,
Oh, I don't know.
from 19, what would you say was the 166, the highest amount? What year was that?
Somebody has that
I'm
form.
It's
gonna
right
bow
now.
out. I'm gonna bow out, you guys. I gotta go to work. All right?
Thanks, Alan.
Camille, save us the Trinidad ornament, we'll be here later to get them.
Huh?
We're coming for ornaments.
Okay, yeah, all right. The
Yeah.
Trinidad
Oh,
one.
I need one for the welcome center too, I'll be.
We're
I kid
taking
you
orders.
not.
Okay, I don't have that many left, but okay, I got them.
But
Thank you.
you look at it from 166,000 to 22, the business not only failed, but it's bankrupt.
It's bankrupt,
You
yeah.
know,
We are
just-
like an organization that we would not give grant funds to.
Yes, we are,
Right.
exactly, and that's
That's
where
a
I'm
really
always
good
like,
point. If we
why
have
would we do
grants-
I
this?
did wanna bring that up, but I had to let you know.
Yeah, see, and I think
Sorry, people, this is not
for
working.
some way, I would like this report to get to the city.
I think we need a work
First
session
you have
with the
to
city,
create a
and
new
we've been
job
asking
plan.
for that. I think we need a work session with council, and we have been asking for that, and I think we wait till the new council comes on board.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
'Cause I
mean,
think
I'm
they'll see it.
saying we,
Yeah.
but I,
Yeah, I agree
the
with you.
best,
Yeah.
because
But
I.
you're always in support of us, Nancy.
Yes, I do believe that, there should be a location somewhere out there.
That'll bring
Or
the
put our
numbers up.
money into somewhere
But
else,
it's just
get
like a
Marty an
restaurant.
office at City
If
Hall.
you have a bad location in a restaurant, you just continuously lose money every year.
Right,
And
no,
And so
no,
you would
I'm
never
wrong.
keep that restaurant open.
You're right, I.
And then if somebody was coming to buy your business, how would you give
How
them
would
the
you say
numbers?
that?
Yeah.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
if your numbers aren't, I mean, the numbers don't lie. That's
Right.
plain and simple, the numbers don't lie. If you go back the last 3 years, the numbers keep going.
Mhm. Well, and it's also not finding a new location and getting a building, but getting the operating funds, and by adjusting some of your advertising
Is this
dollars,
mine or yours?
If you don't want them,
Oh, I need to keep a file,
okay. Yeah,
so.
that's fine.
you can find your funds for operations. You know, if the city wants to partner with, if the city staff would see their way into suggesting that the city partner with tourism, either building or, you know, operational costs, employee, I think that would be the way to go.
That's the best case scenario,
I think
is
so
to
too.
partner again with the Colorado Tourism Office, but show them. that
No.
we're- But,
No, I
Okay.
think just the city, just a tourism center,
Yeah, a tourism center.
not with the
and cut
state.
ties with the state.
Yeah, what have they done
What
for
are,
us?
what are they doing?
There are some benefits, if you take a look at the
Well, it's just like that.
memorandum of agreement, there's some benefits.
They pay for the brochures that are in there, the statewide ones.
Well, they do a lot of advertising, the Colorado Tourism Office website is a lot
How
of
about all the
advertising.
brochures that are in there?
Well,
and the
those are,
magazine.
and the magazines, so.
they're welcome to put their stuff in our.
I mean, but
But
it's a
they
huge,
can't have it.
$100,000 for that, how much is that publication? I mean, we're basically paying $100,000 for it. I mean, I think we could get our same information out on advertising, $100,000 worth of advertising. I mean, that's a
You
lot of
know,
advertising.
Yes, Marty, you make a
That's
good,
as well.
you make a good point that, they do a lot, in pushing the state, but,
On the state level.
but, on all the Google ads that they push out, I have yet to see anything that they promoted for Trinidad.
Well, if you look in the vacation guide and on their website, we're listed multiple times.
Well, I'm talking about the feed, the Google feeds that come up online, if you're looking at the news, like MSN or Google or whatever.
Uh-huh.
The Colorado Tourism Office comes up.
Marty, one of the things that I would like from you is maybe what the state does offer, the city. It's all in this.
That's the memorandum of agreement with the state of Colorado.
And it's only through next year,
It's a fiscal year, so in June.
so
it'll
it ends in
expire.
June.
Yep.
And these are the things that they give us without giving us the $60,000. These are the things that,
Right, that's it, that's what we get from the state.
But we gotta follow certain things to get these things.
Which is also.
Yeah, which are in here.
So read through the list so we're all aware of it, and, motion to, end the meeting. Adjourn.
I move to end the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thanks, everybody, for everybody's work.
Thank you.
Well, we did 2 meetings this morning, guys, so.
I thought that one is like, oh man, we got it early, got a lot of stuff to do.
Long,
At least it's nice, I got a new chainsaw blade I gotta go put on and go cut some wood.
oh yay.
Funny.
A new chain or?
The neighbor's cutting all kinds of, lumber, or like wood, and then throwing it on the property. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Oh, like, would you live here? I'm like, no, I own this. Like, get your stuff off my property.
That is such a building that I've looked at in the past. You're so lucky to get it. I think it's a great
I got a
investment.
great deal.
Which piece?
How much?
Jefferson, on Jefferson Street.
You see it on Santa Fe Trail when you go. It's kind of on the left.
It's six units, 2
Yeah.
bedrooms, 1 bath, and then all 3 lower levels are handicap accessible.
Yeah, no,
Is
I've
that
always
Jack
thought that
Ryder's?
was, it used
Oh,
to be,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
It's a
paint it,
good
redo some stuff.
location, it's, yeah,
And that's where I'm thinking I'm gonna just VRBO it.
yeah.
All of it.
Well, if you need some
Then
help
we're
with
gonna go
that.
after you for
I'm gonna need to
taxes.
get some furniture.
Well,
Probably get some
not only furniture, but like referrals when we sold out and stuff.
Yeah. You gotta
There's a
work-
guy that has a B&B on.
And Tom, we're done.
Arizona?
Do we do anything to
Right
this
by the
thing?
fire
We're
department,
done.
where's the fire department, is it on Arizona?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so there's a house right there on the corner before the fire
yeah. Yeah,
department?
on Arizona?
we
Yeah,
didn't do
Yeah.
he does the talk.
we didn't do the next meeting,
We don't have another meeting.
so we're canceled till January.
Oh, yeah,
We
we're
didn't-
not,
we didn't
we're not
schedule
having a
it.
Jan, we're not having a December
Later, Nancy.
Christmas meeting, we're not gonna meet until a regular meeting in January, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're into Christmas time, we're down to 10 days, guys.
I
Well,
I got birthdays.
I know,
I got pink
it's,
goods.
I
Oh.
know.
This is a rough time
It
too.
is very rough.
Tom, may I have my pen back?
Oh, shoot, I was just gonna.
Which one, Marty?
Darn it, Marty, I was almost out of here.
You want to set that stuff up?
I still don't have no power. I went yesterday and
There was no plug. I just saw him, just see him. Let me go out, I'll talk
I
to
followed
him.
those lines everywhere.
At the end, he said there's one that you plug into.
I followed them everywhere.
Just hold it.
And there's 2 plugs on the poles.
Let me go look at it and see.
You look, I
Because you
went,
could,
I
if
went
you
down.
We ended
if I
about
run an
3-4
extension
minutes
cord,
ago, Tom.
I could run
I
an
didn't know
extension
what
cord
to
down,
touch.